We've got another weekend to look forward to because there's another decent card that's coming up now. It's Boxxer, it's Sky Sports this time around. And it is back in the Northeast. It's in Newcastle. Lewis Ritson's going to be back out again. Chris Eubank Jr. gets his fight after the postponement a couple of weeks ago, which was all a bit bizarre, but he gets his chance to shine again. And also, world champion Savannah Marshall's out. Hughie Fury back in the ring again. So what better than our producer, Josh, to catch up with his great mate, Peter Fury.
Joined here by trainer Peter Fury. It's a big weekend for you in Newcastle, Peter. You've got two fighters on the bill on Sky Sports. First of all, how have preparations been going in the gym with both Hughie and Savannah?
That's been going very good, Josh. They're ready now. They're just winding down, a bit of stretching and stuff, just easing off and just ticking over. And that's it, really. The hard work's done. They're just looking forward now to fight night.
And before we get on to the fights themselves, how did the deal for yourself and Hughie and Savannah working with Sky Sports and Boxxer come about?
They just put something to us, and it was and it suited for what we wanted, you know, and that's getting regular fights, and you know, making both fighters a main priority, and you know, and that it suited us, so we went for Sky.
And Savannah, obviously, we all know what she's capable of. What can we expect on Saturday night from Savannah?
Well, let's see. She's up against an unbeaten opponent. You know, similar record. She had more fights actually. So it's going to be good. She's as big as Savannah. Saying she's got a good punch as well. So it'll be fireworks.
And the fight with Savannah that everyone wants is that Clarissa Shields fight. Clarissa Shields is part of this top rank boxer Sky thing going forward. Is that a fight that we can still see happen perhaps later on this year or early next year?
It won't happen this year, but it'll definitely happen next year, providing they keep winning. So if them fights, providing everything goes well, definitely should be happening next year. There's no reason why it shouldn't. And that's what both of them are working towards.
Definitely, and that'd be absolutely fantastic fight when that does happen. And Clarissa, well, Savannah, we've spoken to Savannah a few times as well. And from your point of view, with Clarissa dipping her toe into the world of MMA as well, is that just raising the profile a bit more? And when these two do meet, there'll be more eyes on it as well now.
I think so. I think it's all good. You know, both of these fighters need each other, so I think it's. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Definitely, and
so I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to these fights happening.
Definitely, and as I've mentioned to you a few times as well, women's boxing's just on the rise, and these two are at the very top of their game. And for them to meet, it just puts women's boxing in another stratosphere, and it just more eyes on it, and it'll be fantastic.
I think between these two, and you know, I think it will be one of the biggest fights in women's boxing. Because, you know, you've got both of them that really want to win. And, you know, Savannah can box and punch as well. So they're not gonna get in there and have a tip-a-tap around. It's going to come down to who wants it the most. And there's going to be a lot of leather flying, that's for sure.
And we mentioned women's boxing, but I think it could be just one of the great fights in boxing, not just women's boxing, but in boxing in general. It could be one of the greatest fights next year.
Definitely. It will be. And I'm looking forward to it. That's why we're in sport, and I want to see these big fights happening. And you know, as far as we're concerned, you know, they need to happen, and you know, God willing, it will next year.
No, definitely. And then Hughie on the card as well, taking on Christian Hammer. You've obviously been in the corner opposite Christian Hammer previously. What type of fight can we expect in this one?
Well, since we last boxed him, he's got a lot more experience under his belt. You know, I think he'd had 16 or 17 fights back then. You know, you're looking at a guy now that's had 30 plus fights. You know, he's a lot older. You know, he's wiser, and let's see. You know, he's got. You know, he's durable. So he presents his own problems. He's. You know, look, you can't. He's not somebody you can overlook. He's certainly a gatekeeper to world level. Let's put it that way. So he's a good opponent.
Definitely. And Hughie, you mentioned Christian Hammer, he's the gatekeeper to world level. Hughie has been at that world level before and just failed at that final hurdle. What can we expect from Hughie beyond this fight going into next year? It's a really hot division at the moment.
It is a hot division. It's all about dusting yourself off, working in the gym, and improving your job. So that's what we're here to do. We're not interested in a points loss, and all of a sudden that's the end of somebody's career. So it's a young man learning his job. But look, all that aside, let's get in there and see what people's point of view is after Saturday.
No, definitely. And then in terms of going into next year for both Savannah and Hughie, what can we expect beyond this show in Newcastle for the pair of them? Going to be exciting for yourself and for the fighters.
Yeah, they've got all being well on this show, then they're on again, I think, around 11th of December, or so early December anyway. So they're scheduled to be on again. So we'll see them both out 2 times this year.